we will start central nervous system. Look at here. There are two components of central nervous system. First one is called brain and second one is called spinal cord. Brain is located in the skull region, whereas spinal cord is located in the back part of your body. Actually, it runs through the neural canal of vertebral column. Now, we will discuss brain and spinal cord one by one. Look at here. First, we will discuss about brain. You can see the structure of brain and spinal cord. Its nerves arises from it. But in brain topic, our portion is its protection, section of brain, structure of brain, and function of its different parts. Look at here. You know very well that brain plays very important role in our body. Actually, it controls and coordinates entire physiological action, our voluntary movement, involuntary movements, thinking, reasoning, sight, audition, smell. Overall, all the functions are controlled by brain. But when you see the body of brain or brain structure, you will find it is gooey and slippery structure. Its protection is very essential in our body, and for providing protection, three facilities are provided in our body. First one is membranous protection, second one is fluid protection, and third one is bony protection. When you will see membranous protection, actually our entire brain is covered externally by tri-layered membrane. This tri-layered membrane is pyometer, arachnoid and durameter. Durameter. These three membrane covers brain from all the sides. Between these three membrane, a fluid is present, which also plays an important role in protection of brain. That fluid is called cerebrospinal fluid. Fluid protection by cerebrospinal fluid. You can see here fluid protection by cerebrospinal fluid. Actually, this cerebrospinal fluid acts as first one shock absorber, and second one it provides medium for exchange of nutrients, gases and waste material. Now come to the third protection. Third protection of brain is bony protection. Bony protection, that means brain is kept in a cage, bony cage. That bony cage is called cranium. It will be more clarified by this diagram. Look at here. Here brain is present, and this brain is covered by three layers: pyometer, arachnoid and durameter. These three are membranous covering, and after that you can find bony structure, and this bony structure is called cranium. Bony structure is called cranium, and this one is covered externally by scalp, or you can say skin. Now come to the section of brain. When you will take thin slice of brain, as it is taken, as it is shown in this diagram, when you will see thin slice of brain, you will find in the peripheral part you can see grey matter, and in the central part you can see white matter. What is this grey matter and what is this white matter? Actually, grey matter is concentrated part of cytosol of neuron, and white matter is axon. You know, in previous class also we have already discussed, axon is covered by myelin sheath. This myelin sheath is white in color, which provides white color to white matter. That's what that means. In white part, axon is present, and in gray part, cyton is present in the brain, as it is clear from the section of brain. Now, come to the structure of brain. You can see here, this is the structure of brain. Brain can broadly or conveniently divided in three parts. First one is forebrain, second one is midbrain, and third one is hindbrain. Forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. You can see here in the forebrain region, this entire part is of forebrain. In the forebrain region, three things are present. First one is olfactory lobes. You can see here, this one is olfactory lobes. This larger part is cerebrum. This one is diencephalon. That means forebrain can broadly be divided in three parts. First one, it is already shown here. First one is olfactory lobe, second one is cerebral hemisphere, and third one is diencephalon. And diencephalon region can broadly be divided in two parts, thalamus and hypothalamus. Now focus yourself on midbrain. This is the midbrain, and in this midbrain consists of optic lobe and auditory lobe. And in tabular form, it is also shown here. Midbrain consists of optic lobe and auditory lobe. Now come to the hindbrain. You can see here in the diagram, hindbrain consists of pons. This one is pons. This one is cerebellum, and this one is medulla oblongata. That means hindbrain consists of pons, cerebellum, medulla oblongata, and it is also shown here. For convenient in study, you will also make a tabular form so that it will be convenient in study and make your work easier. Look at here. Brain can broadly be divided in three parts: forebrain, midbrain, hindbrain. Forebrain consists of olfactory lobe, cerebral hemisphere, and diencephalon. Diencephalon consists of thalamus and hypothalamus. Now come to the midbrain. As you have seen in the diagram, midbrain consists of optic lobes, auditory lobes. Now hindbrain consists of pons, cerebellum, and medulla oblongata. About forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain we will see in discuss. First we will discuss about forebrain. You can see here in forebrain, largest part is covered by cerebrum. This one is also known as cerebral hemisphere. Largest part is covered by cerebrum. This one is also known as cerebrum or cerebral hemisphere. First of all, we will see the diagram of cerebrum. After that, rest part of forebrain will be discussed. Now, look at here. This is the cerebrum. You can see cerebrum. Cerebrum is the largest part of forebrain. It consists of two hemispheres, left hemisphere and right hemisphere. You can see here, left hemisphere, this largest one, and right hemisphere, this one. Both hemisphere is connected together by band of nerves, and that nerve is known as corpus callosum. That one is known as corpus callosum. You can see here folds, large number of folds in the cerebrum region. These folds are called gyri and sulci. These folds are called gyri and sulci. It also plays main role in our body. We are intelligent than other organisms. Why? Because of these folds. It enables us for reasoning, for for memorizing or for learning anything very well. Now, you can see here there are four lobes in the cerebrum. First one is called frontal lobe. Second one is called parietal lobe. Frontal lobe, parietal lobe, temporal lobe, and occipital lobe. But this one you can see clearly in this diagram. This one is also part of cerebrum. Four lobes you can see here in different color. Frontal lobe, parietal lobe, occipital lobe, and temporal lobe. Each lobe performs its different function. This is the part of cerebrum. Parts of cerebrum. Each lobes perform its different function. First, focus yourself on frontal lobe. Look at here. When you will consider about frontal lobe, it enables you, or it is responsible for speech, facial muscular activities, mental activities, etc. That means all type of activities are done by frontal lobe. That means it controls and coordinate these activities. Now come to the parietal lobe. When you will see parietal lobe, these parietal lobes are responsible for touch, smell, taste, temperature, and all type of conscious effort. Now come to the temporal lobe. This is the third lobe of cerebrum. It is responsible for all type of auditory reception. And now come to the fourth one. This one is occipital lobe. This occipital lobe is responsible. It controls and coordinates visual perceptions. Now look at here. Function of forebrain. Function of forebrain, that you, as we have discussed earlier and you have already seen in diagram, it consists of cerebral hemisphere, olfactory lobe, and diencephalon. What is its role? Actually, cerebrum is the main thinking part of the brain, intelligence and voluntary activity. Whereas olfactory lobe is center of smell. Diencephalon has center of hunger, thirst, etc. Now come to the midbrain. When you will see the function of different parts of midbrain, as you have seen in structure, midbrain consists of auditory and auditory lobe and optic lobe. What is the role of it? It controls auditory impulses and sight, whereas it makes link between forebrain and hindbrain. Come to the next part, and next part of brain is hindbrain. Hindbrain consists of pons, cerebellum, and medulla oblongata. As you know, pons is respiratory center. Pons controls and regulates respiration of our body, breathing of our body. Now come to the cerebellum. Cerebellum maintains posture, maintains equilibrium of our body. That means all type of smooth movement of our body is possible due to the cerebellum. Now come to the medulla. Medulla is the last part of hindbrain, and medulla controls involuntary action such as breathing, reflexes, swallowing, coughing, vomiting, or each and every type of involuntary activity. You can say it is responsible for, it controls respiration also and cardiovascular activities also. Then respiration is combined action of both pons and medulla. Now, in your syllabus till this topic you have to learn about the brain. Now come to the next topic, and that makes spinal cord. Look at the spinal cord. It continues from posteriormost part of medulla oblongata. You know, medulla oblongata is part of hindbrain. It continues from posteriormost part of the hindbrain. It is present in neural divided in three parts. First one is cervical, second one is thoracic, and third one is abdominal. Abdominal can also be divided in three parts: lumbar, sacral, and coccygeal. Lumbar, sacral, and coccygeal. Here cervical vertebrae are present, thoracic vertebrae are present, and after that abdominal vertebrae are present. After that abdominal vertebrae are present. Now come to the location. That means when you will see spinal cord, you have to learn about these topics. First one, protection, section of spinal cord, location and function. First I am describing about location. It is extended from cervical region, innermost part of the cervical region, to the lumbar region. It not continues in sacral or coccygeal region. It is extended till lumbar vertebrae only, till lumbar region only. Now look at the protection of spinal cord. As brain, spinal cord also plays main role in our body. For its protection is also very essential. For protection, like brain, here also three facilities are provided. First one, membranous protection, and this membranous protection is provided by dura mater, pia mater, and arachnoid. Actually, spinal cord also covered by these three membranes. Between these three membranes, fluid is present, abbreviated as CSF. Fluid, cerebrospinal fluid. And this fluid, like brain, here also acts as shock absorber, first thing. Second, it is responsible for exchange of nutrients, waste material and gases. Okay. Now come to the bony protection. Like brain, here it is not kept in cranium. Brain is kept in cranium box, bony box called cranium. But here it is kept in vertebral column. Vertebral column provide protection, and in the central part of each vertebrae there is a canal through which spinal cord passes. Now look at here. When you will take the thin slice of spinal cord, what you have learnt in brain? In brain you have learnt when you will take thin slice of brain, you will find in peripheral region grey matter is present and in central part white matter is present. But in spinal cord, just reverse condition is present here. You can see in peripheral part white matter is present, and in central part what is present? In central part grey matter is present. In central part grey matter is present. Now come to the location, it is already explained. Come to the function. It provides a pathway for conducting impulses to and from the brain. It is already described in detail in previous class in reflex action. That means it provides pathway for conducting impulses to and from the brain. And second one, it is center for spinal reflex. That means it prepare our body for emergency condition. In emergency condition, you takes off your hand. Why you takes off your hand? When your fingers touching to any hot objects, actually due to spinal action of spinal cord, and which is called spinal reflexes, only messages are sent to the brain. Now your spinal cord and brain portion, that means central nervous portion, is completed. In next class we will discuss about endocrine glands and hormones. Thank you girls.